So the barns unlock the ability for us to have a better financial return for the owners of the business on this class of land. In certain areas, for certain people, is a huge opportunity to create financial opportunity, but also an animal welfare perspective. And both of those are generally the concerns of farmers, is their ability to be sustainable financially and the care and well-being of their animals. And if both of those can be supported, then that's a good thing. It just takes a lot of stress away from us as the farm operators, but also from the animals themselves. Hi, my name's Matt Iremonger. I'm the General Manager for Composting Farms, and we're here today in Kaituna Valley with our new barn. Build something that was going to give us an opportunity currently, but also future-proof us. So this barn is designed for two purposes. It's designed for wintering cows for 2 months, June and July, when the cows are not being milked, and it will comfortably hold 600 to 800 cows during that period, and is designed for the full 800 during adverse weather at any other time of the year. So that includes obviously wet weather, particularly wet weather during the spring or the autumn or at any time of the year, but also for adverse hot weather. So being able to give the cows the opportunity to have some shade during the peak of the summer. We've modelled it as a 50-year piece of infrastructure for the business, but there's no reason that it wouldn't last significantly longer than that. We're really happy that we added some aspects to it that were extra to our original budget that will actually mean that we have the structure there for the long term. We certainly see this as a long-term investment because we've got the ability over a long period of time to get a return when we combine that with not just the economic benefits but the wider benefits that are sometimes hard to monetize around animal welfare, staff satisfaction and ease of management, a whole range of those things. When you bring all of those into play, we see it being a 5-year return and then being profitable from there. It doesn't replace a normal pastoral system. It gives us more ability to protect some of the assets that we have in the pastoral system. So it protects our grass, protects our nutrients, and it looks after the cows. So it gives us the ability to extract more from pasture than actually replace pasture. We've looked at barns across New Zealand, Waikato, Taranaki, Southland, West Coast and in Canterbury. Also looked at some in Australia and looked at some in the US and looked at how these systems were able to augment our pastoral system. So it's not replacing pasture, but it's actually helping improve our pasture efficiency. We realised that we could actually extract more value out of this parcel of land through utilising a barn because it's very wet in the winter, and that we could then convert this into a dairy unit and extract much more value from the asset by having a dairy system here. We studied a range of different companies, systems. When Newmat came to us with the laminated beam option, we were really attracted to it because it was cost efficient, highly durable, and we feel that in an environment where there is a component of manure and effluent, that it was a really durable product. But not only that, we feel that it's actually a really attractive product. It looks good. The construction team found it really good to work with, and ultimately we think it's an attractive place to be. We really like the timber construction. We think it's a really strong design, a durable design, one that works really well in the environment, is softer and a warmer feeling in the structure. We added some clear light to the roof. We added some additional internal fit out around posts and retaining. We've added solar panels and we've added some additional cladding at the southern end of the barn with electric doors that allow us to actually enclose the barn from significant weather events. We've enjoyed the process with Newmat. They've done a great job and we'll certainly be engaging with them going forward if and when we've got future projects. So the barn for us is a strategic fit. It gives us more ability to protect some of the assets that we have in the pastoral systems. It's very easy to get your cows too fat, and it comes back to the point around the investment return. Significantly less feed required to maintain the cows. That's a big saving. It was a really collaborative process, which is important. I think it's important that everybody is involved jointly in it to get the right outcome. So that's the key for us, that it unlocks the ability to be more productive financially on our grass. Last night it was particularly wet and cold, typical spring storm. It was very reassuring to know the cows were in the barn, they were warm, they were dry, we weren't doing any damage. The cows were protected and we weren't doing any damage to our grass.